It's time for Leather Podcast.
Right, deep pressure, Ross. You took a deep breath. You're like,
So, I know, like, fuck. Hello, and welcome to welcome to the Leathered Podcast.
I thought you were going to say our podcast.
What's the other one? I nearly did. I came close. With Chris Bungard and Paul Craig. What's
nice to meet you, mate.
I know. How's it going? I need to change this about. I've not had to kick off with. I don't know. I've got
something to kick off with. Tell me you've seen the rugby player that's eating the dirt box.
Oh, yes.
Oh, fucking hilarious, man.
Why have I not seen this?
Right, so there's a rugby player, right? And there's this guy filming, he's walking down the street. There's a lassie whose ass is in the air, pants down.
It's not even a good angle.
It's not a good angle. And this guy's chewing down in the box. Man. This guy is fucking Bruce Bogtrotter right in there. Chocolate cake all in his face.
I'm pretty sure he's a famous rugby guy, though.
Yes.
Is he famous?
The guy walks down and says, "Can I get a bit?" This is the best line ever. Like, can I get a bit?
And he stands up, steaming it. He's blocked on there.
Did you see all the stuff that went along with it? It was
I seen his wife and his daughter fucking tweeting about it and all.
So his wife said, because he tried to say it was years ago, he's like, "I bought you these shoes 2 weeks ago."
Couldn't get away with it if there's a new tattoo on you.
Is his wife taking it bad?
I think so.
She wants to just get out of it.
The daughter's taking
It's
it
not
bad
like
as well.
behind the club at like the bins and the dumpsters and that. It's like that dumpster baby, not me.
See, the thing is, when it's even worse, man, she'd been in that club dancing, that old ass would have been fucking dynamite.
Disco minge, as the boys used to call it.
3D Tina Park ass. That's what that is.
The guys the guys decided to go in, man. Like if I was the type of guy,
He's getting in there, mate. He's getting really in there.
no, but like.
He's
See
like
if I was a
sweat
guy
or
that was a
some shit.
shagger. See if I was a shagger and I was out at a nightclub and I find myself out in the bins. The last thing I'm doing is eating.
Aye.
I'm fucking scudding. You know what I'm saying?
In and out.
I bought his chucker in the bin, man.
She's got a perfectly good move. She's got a perfectly good move, right?
Lock up the rear naked and just fucking tip her in.
A prawn, man.
It was terrible, man. It was
He's not
terrible.
he's not even like hunched and down. He's like, he's bent over. Oh, it's like,
fucking
So I was-
you're only getting like sweat there or dangleberries or some shit.
Dangleberries. So I was thinking we might talk about Volkanovski, Islam, but let's no bother.
You want to see the pictures, Ross?
I do.
Aye, I'll show you them.
Send me them in the group chat. I can't believe you.
I'll send you them right now, mate.
That's rugby guy.
Mate, this is tremendous.
Is he a
I saved
bad
them to my keep folder.
That's cool.
Let me see.
Anyway, first
Did you have a good
prediction.
weekend?
Aye. First prediction. Let's get Ross was right. So that's 1 out of 1.
Why were you right?
About the Islam Volkanovski fight.
Why you said Volk would win?
I said if Volk was going to win it, it'd be over the distance, which he did. Judges just didn't give him it. But I said that Islam
didn't he
would probably
win?
win.
Islam won?
Islam won. I said Islam, but I said if Volk was
Did you
to
give
win.
it to him?
I gave Islam 3-2.
You gave Islam 3-2.
Yeah.
I tried to be unbiased.
I mean, you can't just have somebody on your back and just shout, call them names and think you've won the round. You know what I mean? You're still losing.
I guess.
You're not winning the round, eh?
But like Volk's, you showing them that?
I'm showing them the video, mate.
hang on, it's went to something else. There we go.
Like Volk's stock went fucking through
I
the
need to
roof.
put the volume down on that.
It's for me, still the pound.
Oh
for
my
pound.
God.
Nice.
Oh.
I know she's not even a 10, mate. This guy's fucking. I only wanked it twice.
Once we put this out, we'll clip that on the screen so the viewers can see it.
But then you had all the controversial shit with Islam and the IV.
Do you think that's that controversial, truthfully?
Well, if it's against the rules, then 100%.
Do you find it shocking, though? You wouldn't be like...
No, I don't find it shocking.
Aye.
Because we've obviously discussed it. I think guys have fought against have done it because there's no way they can put that much weight on over a less than 24-hour period.
So I heard basically, or I read that you can't get found guilty unless somebody visually sees you do it.
Aye, that's
so
it.
it's like,
Oh, really?
just lock the doors and fucking.
That's like that Shaggy.
Costa basically told people he done it. That's how he got caught.
Right.
That's the
So we get a letter from Jeff Nowitzki this morning. So Jeff Nowitzki's the AK, the Golden Snitch.
Yeah.
He is the guy who caught Lance Armstrong. Well, he didn't catch Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong gave himself up. But he's our liaison for USADA. We are obviously drugs tested very regularly. Normally piss most of the time, but there is times where they'll hit you up for some blood. And they do it quite sporadically. It's not like it's always blood or it's always piss. It's just however it happens. And he has come out and said there's like it's for 2019, these rules have been in effect, and there's something like 3 different ways that you can get around having an IV, and one of them's if medical professions, like somebody who's a medical, like a nurse or a doctor says this guy needs an IV, or that you go to the hospital and you have to have an IV. And I think there's one more where if the commission, like, because different states have different rules, so there was these 3 different areas where you can actually have it.
So you still can kind of have an IV?
So you could find
if
a
you're
way.
getting permission?
Aye, so for what it looked like is if the commission allows you to have it and you ask the commission and there's a few different things in line, then you can have an IV.
Depending how bad your weight cut is. If
Somebody
you're looking fucked, they're like, he needs one.
He needs one.
Somebody had put up pictures as well where he was posted with both arms doing and saying there's needle marks on the inside of the arm. You didn't know because
The thing is, that's easily doctored.
I know. I wouldn't be going with that.
Yeah.
But
It's conspiracy shit, that.
But I think once
he's
you're at
still
that
lightweight
level,
fighting a featherweight, he's always got to be bigger than them.
Aye.
I know.
And
I know
plus,
that.
Volk's small as well, so I thought Volk done brilliant. No?
I thought it was a great fight.
Aye.
I thought
sure.
like it was one of the best fights we've had so far, and it was
Very
only
good.
February, and we said that a few months ago when we were
You can see Islam still pack some power though, with shots.
Aye.
he's
Especially
very good, mate. He's very good.
I like his
But
framing, his striking.
he's still going to be hard to beat. People are going to go, that's it. Watch him in the Volkanovski fight now. Nah, no. When I fight him, I know how to beat. Like I saw Aljamain Sterling tweeting, I would just take Volkanovski down, just submit him quite easily. Aye, all right, mate.
Aye, would you?
Hey, bother,
Would
aye.
you?
Like, do you know, I think Islam was just trying to do that for 25 minutes. So it's...
You know what? He was doing a lot of work with Craig Jones, wasn't he, for that fight? Volk.
Aye, I'd seen that.
Who's
Like it
obviously
obviously
one of
showed
the-
way,
one of
like,
the top.
He's different
back
level,
control was
yeah.
incredible. But then a guy like that if you look at who's in his gym, he's got the best of the best in that city kickboxing.
A lot of strikers though as well, don't it?
It's city
You need to
kickboxing.
have that though. If you're going to be at that, like a fight like that, that's a proper super fight, eh? Do you know what I mean? That's Volkanovski, and people now saying, like, I saw Ariel Helwani saying he's a pound for pound. He's a man.
Aye, yes.
Now he fights Yari though for the featherweight belt.
How good was that fight?
Aye.
That fight was incredible. They kicks. That guy is so special. When we look
Aye.
back at him getting beat
He's
up
a
off
problem
of
for
Max
anybody.
Holloway.
So you didn't like the rematch? You didn't like the Islam Volk rematch?
not really.
They're not going to be able to do it because of Ramadan, eh? Because the time it's going to fuck up. Something to do with when Ramadan is, like, if you remember Khabib, he used to take quite a bit of time after. And that's fair enough. That's his right to do that. So if they were going to have the rematch, it's going to have to be at like UFC London. And it's too close for it
I
to be
don't
this side
think-
of.
I don't think the rematch will be the first one.
But that's what I mean. If they were to get, otherwise you're going to be realistically looking at.
Yeah.
Quite
Who's
a year.
next for the lightweight strap? Who's next for Islam though in that division apart from Volk obviously? Who was
I don't know.
I know. I'm the same.
Like what you got to put him against Oliveira
Who was
again.
wanting it? Pori or Gaethje was wanting it? Pori won
It's
it?
going to be hard
That's
for
a
all
tough
the guys.
sell though, eh?
Gaethje,
Poirier's only
maybe. Gaethje, maybe.
Gaethje's got
That power.
physio.
And that wrestling and that toughness. So
Who would you want to
maybe.
see? The
I
lightweight.
like Pori.
That's how the lightweight seems
Poirier.
to be now. It's no really. They're like, well, what fight looks? Who would you rather see? Rather than, well, who do we think should be the guy? Because I know it should be number one contender should get it, or Oliveira should get a rematch. But it's not really like that with the lightweights, is
No,
it?
it's not really like that in any division.
It's not really
You
like
think
that
about
in any
guys that
division.
just jump for like 5 up to the top.
For sure. So I don't know. I think the lightweight division, it kind of comes down to who wants to fight who.
Right.
Like it, and this will sound bad as well, but it doesn't matter who Islam's going to fight. The Chandler McGregor fight's still going to be fucking far bigger. It's
going to be huge.
Far
You just
bigger.
The winner of that could get the title shot.
You just dropped the
Probably will.
you just dropped the knowledge that we should be in Vegas. Well, we're in Vegas at the same time.
Is the Ultimate Fighter is getting filmed.
Getting a cool in it.
Starting next weekend, it's getting filmed. I don't know anybody that's in it though. Surely they're going to have some Irish guys in it for
If they're
the
playing,
corner.
Got to art him.
So I
It's
really
welcome
exciting.
back.
You know what? You know what? It makes some good, exciting TV because McGregor, everybody tunes in to watch that, and it was one of the best.
Chandler's will be too up his ass. Like, it's too nice to Conor sometimes.
He might not be, mate. He might decide to play. He likes. I think Chandler's. The promos he cuts are good.
Aye.
If you're like a WWE guy, if that's your type of thing, like I think he's an American fan favourite. He's never going to be a European fan favourite because we didn't really lean towards those type of guys. Like Colby Covington, nobody's really going to. Americans are going to. I think the Colby Covington thing's funny. I like it.
Aye.
Like, you have to remember, it's just a fucking act, eh? He doesn't really think, or maybe he does think this, but it's hard to be the bad guy all the time. It's probably shite. Has to stay at a different hotel for everyone. Has to get different flights for everyone because everybody wants to fucking do him in.
How do you think this fight goes? Chandler McGregor.
That's a tough one.
Wrestling or striking? Because let's be honest, Chandler's got
Chandler
power as well.
packs a fucking
Over in one,
explosive power.
I think somebody would.
Connor's
I
not
don't
fought
know.
in years, man.
Because if you look at all Chandler's first rounds, they're fucking amazing. How good a first round fighter is he? But then
He puts too much into it, that's why.
Aye.
The Connor's not fought in years, he's not won in years, so I don't know what this game doesn't wait for anybody.
Nah, it certainly doesn't.
Especially when Chandler's
It
been in.
develops so quickly.
Chandler's been in with everybody.
We're
all
the
top
best guys.
And he's still performing, even though sometimes he's
I
coming
know,
up short.
but he's coming up short because he is in with the top guys, the top echelon of that bracket.
So as you said, the first round probably got his.
Oh, if you were to put Chandler in with a guy who's number 14, he's going to fucking mince him, eh? And it's just, he only fights. Chandler only fights the big names.
He came off of Bellator and he was right in for a stand-in
Because
for
I
Khabib.
think everybody thought he was just going to be
Made weight.
Aye, I thought everybody thought he was just going to come and he was going to fall short at every single hurdle, and he didn't.
He turned Tony Ferguson's face into a chick nugget.
Mate, he sent me an abuse on Twitter more than once now, and I still like
was the
him.
same, mate. I was the same when he was at Bellator. I had a wee bit of back and forth with him, but you need to take your hat after him, man, what he's done. Banger after banger as well.
I said that as well.
The Gaethje fight. What was the last fight? Who did he fight last? Poirier, was it? The last one?
Was it no Oliveira? Oh, fucking hell. I feel like I should know this. Well, he's fought Poirier, Oliveira,
Gaethje
and Gaethje,
and Ferguson.
and Ferguson. Aye. Mushed up his face.
Dan
man.
Hooker as well.
Aye, that was a fucker, eh? I forgot about that. That was a great KO.
Aye. What about did you watch the light heavyweights this weekend? Because we had Pedro
I just missed the Pedro. I just seen the decision. I was quite shocked with that, but
So was I.
I didn't watch
Modestus
it.
was excellent, eh?
He did.
He was really good, mate.
Taking a few weeks' notice as well.
I thought Pedro was going to get him out of there in the first round.
So did I.
And the way the fight started, I was like, oh, this is
How
fucking
did the fight go? How did it?
a decision.
Pan out?
It was.
No, how did it pan out?
It was
though?
just.
Like the
It was
actual
just
fight?
leaning more and more as the
Tit
fight.
for tat,
Aye,
just
no. It was just
on
like
the feet.
Aye, every single round it was just a wee bit more from Modestus, innit? It was just more and more him and Pedro. Aye,
Looked tired.
Aye, didn't he have it? But then he's been out for a long layoff, isn't he?
He went for like a rolling guillotine that looked good, and I was like, oh, he's got him here.
Aye.
This was like at the end of the first round, and see when he got up, it was like, I thought, fucking hell,
And
he's.
then you look at the other light heavyweight, and
That was a great
Jimmy
fight.
Crute. It was an absolute winner. He just spunked his load in the first round, didn't he? Trying to wrestle it.
Just wrestled too hard.
I know how thick.
He's a
is-
monster, that Alonso, mate.
He was almost done, man, and he just came back for the dead.
Aye,
I thought Jimmy won the fight.
did you?
Aye, especially with the point off.
With the grab,
Aye.
I thought they maybe were trying to see it being in Australia.
they'll try
I
to
thought-
give him the nod.
Nah,
Oh, the
Alonso's-
Aussies are going to riot.
Alonso's too big, man.
He's a monster, isn't he?
And
I bet
he
he's
throws
practicing
with mean intentions every time.
Aye.
But
Old Jimmy Crute will have had a sore face the next day.
aye,
I think they're going to. Jimmy's trying to run it back.
he was taking some fucking shots.
Ah, they're going to run it back,
They
eh? They
were
said
See,
that.
at one point, he's just done against the cage and had the tongue out, and I was like,
Exactly.
"You're not biting your tongue after."
It was a good card. They're the only
was
fights
good.
I watched. I just skipped him.
But Yari, like, they kicks, man, like so rangy, all different kicks. The knees, then he finishes with a triangle. You're like, this guy's a problem for anybody.
But why do you think he suddenly just like turned it on? Because he's.
I think him and Volk will be a great fight.
Aye. Yeah. I was expecting Josh Emmett to do better.
Aye.
I thought it's not that he did bad. He just
No, I was just getting zapped
it
with
just
the kick.
aye, it goes that way sometimes. Eh?
It was like that health bar was just depleting.
It's not like he wasn't good. It's just
So what's moving forward for the UFC? What's next for them? What we got in half decent?
nah. Saw Tyson. Sorry,
Well,
Tommy Fury, Jake Paul.
The one got announced today, the date for Jon Jones is March 4th, which is not even that far away.
Aye, well, that's a big fight,
He
man.
could be the heavyweight champion of the world, man.
Do you see him calling out DC on the
Really?
About
No,
commentating.
about commentating, you can commentate if you want, basically kind of saying.
Do you think he only wants to be the heavyweight champ because DC was? I think that's the only reason he cares about it.
I don't know, man, but he's got his hands full.
Gan's good.
Do you
eh?
think,
good, man.
I don't know, man. See, after I seen Gan against Ngannou, and Ngannou was taking him down, Jon Jones is bread and butter is wrestling.
Aye.
Jon Jones is very creative. I can't see Gan. Like,
Gan's
I think
slick,
Gan
though,
is. I think Gan on his feet is incredible the way he moves. But I just think John's the GOAT. Let's be honest. Regardless of all the shit that goes along with Jon Jones,
I think Jon Jones going to mince him.
I think Jon Jones is
Got really
just.
good, though.
Aye, I'm
It'd be good to
excited
see
for
him
it.
back, man.
It's good to see him back. I know he's a bad
How
guy.
long has he been out for? 2 years? Three?
3? It was February
Good on him, man.
February 20.
I want
I'm
to
sure
see-
it was when he fought Reyes.
Aye, but like people are like, aye, but Reyes potentially won that. I think Jon Jones with a bit of fire in him.
What
is
weight
good.
do you think he's got to come in at?
250.
Think so?
That's my
Much
guess.
is it?
Aye.
I was thinking
It was
230.
Rogan came out with it and said he's over 250.
Is he?
50.
Then I
Can't be over 250.
That's what he says.
I
He
seen him
looks
hitting pads.
big, mate.
I seen him hitting pads with the monster guy. Or the monster guy was filming and he was hitting pads.
I've not seen him with a t-shirt off or anything. So, I don't know. Maybe he's just packed on and he's going to strip a wee bit off, but
Interesting.
it's hard. How can you bet against? It's hard to bet against Jon Jones, eh? Truthfully.
Like, he's never lost. Well, there is that illegal level. I was going to say he's never lost, but
Because he's no fought in 3 years. Like, It's a long way off.
I know it's a long way off, but when you're
his
Jon
last couple
Jones,
of fights were close as well.
I know,
But do you think
but
that's he just got to like, I can't be arsed.
Maybe, but Gan's still good.
For sure. He's very good.
what about Gan versus Tom Aspinall? How do you think that goes? Because that was a potential fight for
That's a good
the
fight.
London. That was
a very good
potentially, and Gan said no.
He wanted Jones.
That's a good fight.
Good for him. though, saying,
No. Gan said no. He doesn't want the Aspinall.
Oh,
It's a good fight on the feet as well, man.
I know. Like Tom's deadly at
Aye.
wrestling.
so I
man.
see he's back training everything now. The knee's getting better, and
He's
Aye, he's been down.
guys.
He's been down with Big Phil. hasn't he? I've seen him.
Where Jim is at the train now? Is
I
that
don't know.
Liverpool?
I don't know. I think he stopped training
Wigan?
there. I don't know where it
Wigan?
is, but he's the mat's quite big.
Oh,
You
he
see
doesn't
them
train
big
at-
fuckers, big thicks. Aye.
he doesn't train at Carbon anymore.
No, he does not.
Why?
Be speculation if we had to think about it.
Is it?
We'd be
you know anything?
speculating. I know that he never really trained there. I know that he always kind of done his work with his dad. Like, his dad's a gentleman, eh? Let's
He's
be
from
honest.
Manchester though, eh? So it's still going to be like an hour. Would have been like an hour drive for him to that
So
gym
he
anyway.
always done his stuff with his dad. I think he used to go in there and do some pad work, do the old wrestling class.
His dad's a great guy, man.
Aye.
Aye.
Like,
But
just
I
a
don't.
gentleman.
I think it's just one of the things where he's
He's
never
proper
really trained there.
likeable, eh?
Aye.
Tom
And he's fucking very knowledgeable. Like, he'll just grab you and just score stuff with you. Mm-hmm. And
I
you're
think
like,
he's-
aye. Just wee small details, you're like, oh, aye.
Aye. What about his dad still giving the boys dinner? Aspinall's dad still giving him it. Aspinall's like a grown
Jumps on the mat with him.
I like, come on, son. I'll show you how it's done.
That's
Badass.
cool, eh?
He's good. He's a great guy. But I was like,
Because Phil's fighting.
he's
next week.
fighting Todd Duffy.
Aye. Todd Duffy beat him in the UFC, though.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this.
Aye. Like years and years ago.
That Phil's a different guy now.
Aye.
See, mentally wise, because I've spoke to Phil about that, because he'd said to me, he was like, I just mentally wasn't ready, and then as he left the UFC,
Doesn't he look the same person, man? Like, figure-wise,
He's not.
obviously.
Aye. He's not the same guy, I suppose. That Todd Duffy was away doing BKB, eh?
was he?
I think he did bare knuckle.
That cunt's a fucking juice head, man.
He was going to fight Mark Godby, remember?
He was like Captain America shit, remember?
His hair,
tracks,
his hair's
like,
beautiful, isn't he, man? Like, he looks like all American. That guy that's flinging the fucking QB in high school.
So Phil's on like
Spiral
a,
blast.
like a 9-fight win streak with KSW. I think he's like one of the biggest win streaks in the company, but he just keeps fucking smashing all these Polish cunts and they're raging.
Aye, the issue they've got is because they don't have MD.
Aye.
So they're trying to bring in somebody, because they brought
That's
in the
what
guy for
they've
the UFC. Who was the guy they brought in for the UFC?
They had the light heavyweight guy go up and wait and
That's
fight him
right,
as
they
well.
fought him and he just
mashed him as well.
Aye.
Just everyone they put him in, he just like,
You ready
I've
to
been
get
under
squeezed? Aye, it's no nice, is it, man?
fuck.
He's like, I just squished him. I quite like it. He just squishes folk.
He's a
And
good big
he literally
guy. Yeah.
does. I was on his back,
He's got his ass out.
I was on Phil's back with the hooks in, right? And he just grabbed me by the neck with one hand and just dragged me over. He didn't even drag me around, he just dragged me over. The guy's just a monster, man.
He's a good guy. What's happening with Oh, fuck, his name's went right out of my head. One on Contender. Used to come up and train with...
he's got an injury. I think his knees or so.
Aye.
So I think
that fight.
I think he went in and got an operation, maybe get some like a wee bit of clean up in there, because I had been messing him about if he was getting ready for London, and he was like, this was months ago, and he wasn't.
He's no. Because I was half expecting to see him get...
Mickey Parkin.
Aye.
Did you say his name?
I thought I did.
He's a good guy as well, isn't he, man?
He is a nice guy as well.
But then that just shows you what was Mickey's record, 5-0. Mm-hmm. Was he? Was he 4-0? And you get the Contender series.
Contender one was his fifth. I'm sure that was his fifth pro
so
fight.
Like, see, we spoke about it in the last podcast where it's like guys don't want to have a massive run. Like prior to the days, European guys had to be like 10-0 and all that to get into the UFC.
What were you?
I think I was like 8 or 9.
All finishes.
8-0.
All finishes. Aye. I think the hardest fight we had was Carol Moore back in the day, wasn't it? Took us to the second round.
He's looking big now, man.
Oh, he's thick.
Who's he fighting in it? He's got a fight on Bellator, or has he just fought on Bellator?
No, he's fighting at the weekend.
So he fought when we were in Italy, didn't he?
The Swedish guy, Carlson or something.
Aye.
It was a tough fight.
It was. It looked like
he's had a lot of fights.
He rocked him in the end of his first round. Carol was pretty much out. Came back and absolutely on a pace. Aye.
I think he's on a hard fight though.
Has he?
Aye.
Who's he got? Do you know?
Sure, he's got a Russian guy.
The
Don't even try to build them. Like you could probably build him.
I know, especially if you're
in Ireland,
especially if you're going to Ireland all the
like
time.
Heavyweight, not me. It's not like them.
Like they go there like once, twice a year, every single year.
Aye, we spoke about it in the lot, and they're selling out the Three Arena.
Aye.
So you'd think they would want the Irish guy to be doing well.
Aye.
I don't know about that.
So the Scottish guys were meant to be fighting. So Keir Harvey was meant to be Keir Harvey was meant to fight on the Bellator card, but he's had to pull out of that due to a staph infection. I don't even know if I did. Like, fuck it. Aye, pulled out with a staph infection. That's pretty
Big
much what
Macintosh is still on it.
the old mop's still on there. But the same again, they guys are fighting two Irish boys. And as we spoke about before, Kavanagh has got kind of the roll of the dice with that. Like picking fights and who they want to go with. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing to go up against the Irish boys, but you're definitely not going in there as a favourite, are you?
Oh,
Big feather in your cap to get the win, though. Eh?
Oh, aye. That's why I love. That's why I love the Scottish man. We go anywhere and we're fucking underdogs.
You go in there and you get the win, and you're like, I fucking told you.
Aye.
So that's what's good about it, I think.
Like Mop's dangerous. Like see Mop's jiu-jitsu, but
this guy's fighting wants to showcase his grappling day, and I'm just like,
don't do that.
no, I hope you do. I hope you do, man. I hope you do.
Don't do that, man.
Because I'm rooting for Craig, man. I always root for that guy.
Aye.
He's one of the nicest guys you
fought
probably
him,
meet through Scottish MMA.
Aye, you spinning. Did you miss him with spinning back kick? And I think you caught it. You'd have put him through the cage.
No,
what was the one
I
where you
got him
spinning
in the
back
event,
kicked
I
the
think.
cage? Do you remember? Like you spinning back kicked, and the guy just moved half an inch and missed him, and the full cage just went wom, 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 wom.
I'm sure he's refed one of my fights before.
He's a nice guy.
I did fight him on top.
Right, I've got a question for you. What is one of your favourite moves that you've pulled off in a fight? Because you've had a suplex, you've had some sweet ass spinning back kicks. What about the shooters? Remember the shooters?
I like
Or the back take for Brazier was beautiful, man.
the flying triangle, probably.
Aye, that was a beautiful.
No, in fact,
Do you know what's funny as fuck about that triangle, that flying triangle? I mean, me and you were in the gym. We'd have been like the week
that's a true
before
story.
it,
I don't remember this.
and we were working again, and you were like, "See if we back up again," because he's southpaw as well, same as me, and you were like, he'll move like this, and I'm just going to hit him with a flying triangle. And I remember standing there and going, I mean, well, we could always keep that there. Like, I remember just thinking, like, what?
I pretty much had the same conversation. Me and you went to Tesco that night. Like it was a supermarket, me and you, and you'd went, I walked to this other day and it took me ages, and he had to walk back to the hotel with all this water. So I drove him over and we were just talking. He's like, I'm going to fly and triangle. And I was like, aye, like stick to the game plan right away. And he's like, no, I'm going to fly and triangle. And I'm like, no.
See, when you said it to me as well, and people didn't believe you.
I know, it's one of the ones where it's like flying triangle. Oh, cool. But
I remember you called it one time when I was fighting somebody else. You're like, Danny Bungard or some shit, and I was just like, I was going to go for it.
I think it's just been like
my fight in Wales against the Brazil, where I landed the two sharp elbows in a row, and they're just both of them were right in the jaw, and it was just clean. That's probably my favourite thing I've done in the cage, because it was too smooth, man.
Too soon. I wasn't here.
I like that cage.
You watched it, though?
That was one of my favourite fights, though, that I've seen him. That cage, the one where it was hot as fuck.
Aye, very hot.
Cooper,
What
what's
happens?
yours?
Just fucking elbowing people for the top. That's it. I just like to mount some cunt and elbow them, and that's it. You're just like,
This is in the nightclubs. I'm talking about the fight.
you're talking about, aye, no, mate. I like just basic stuff, eh? Like, there's
You
still
love that trip. The guy walks forward and you do the big Ross Cooper kick trip.
Aye, in the gym. I do.
trip.
I'll come to the gym this Friday. That's what I'm going for.
Are you going for it?
Aye.
You in?
I was messaging Dean. I was like, "Are you sparring on Friday, mate?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know if I will be." Mate, I've no sparred for months, and I'm like, "Am I going to stay?"
Housley?
Aye.
Good
I'm like,
guy, innit?
He's a great guy.
He's worked so
Sponsored by
hard.
Celtic.
Aye.
Good family man.
He
Like
came in the
likes a
other day-
wine on
he
the
actually came
weekend.
He came in the other day with a higher level t-shirt and everybody went, why have you not got a Celtic tap on? Because he literally just wears.
I know.
And then he takes it off and he's got the Celtic badge right at the exact same spot. Like, come on, man.
I've still got my hit squad hoodie. Like, I still wear it.
Have you?
Dan, I had messaged to you, you watched the first episode, and because my
Boomtime?
my jiu-jitsu comp, aye.
Yeah, man.
Sensei.
What about this? Your jiu-jitsu comp? Maybe never
Aye,
spoken
what
about
I
this.
say at the weekend, I ended up doing it at the Norfolk Open. It's in Norwich, 6-hour drive. So I had the gi bracket and I had a no gi bracket. So honestly, I didn't even warm up. I've obviously had an injury with my nerve, so
How's it feeling now? The
it's
injury?
agony. I've got physio tomorrow.
Worse than it's ever been.
So I put a full spray, a heat spray on, right? I done 10 press ups and 10 star jumps. That was my warm up. Done like, Chris, you ready to go? I'm up. Aye, good, man.
Guy probably couldn't see with it, like the deep heat in your
Put it on outside or not. And my first match, I only had 2 matches in the gi. And the no gi, basically, nobody, 2 people refused to grapple me, and one said he was ill, American guy.
That's hilarious.
So I was like to the guy, I just go in then. Oh, we're going to give you the medal, but I'm like, nah.
You're not
Not
getting
unless
it.
I compete
No,
for
unless
it.
I compete, aye.
So the guy started to jump guard on me, and it's just like grabbing the lapel, the collar, the trousers, and I'm just like, just try to gi choke me, and I'm just like, no gi, trap in the hand, basically. And tap for like 6 minutes, pure boring ass shit. She was there with the Wayne watching, and she's like, I don't understand what's going on. I was like,
Are these guys
won
are PJs?
but so I took a gold in the gi, my first time competing at brown belt, and it was, that doesn't the end for me.
Underwhelming.
See, when I was warming up, like as I just says, I didn't warm up, and I was just walked onto the mat. Like, it's no fight. It's no fight for me. Like, I wasn't in danger. I wasn't nervous. I was just looking about the crowd and all, and I was like, no gi would have probably been more up my street because that's what I do. And there's actually pussies in jiu-jitsu as well that don't want to fucking grapple at brown belt. Like, you're a brown belt, I'm a brown belt, I'm not going to strike. So I end up leaving early, but we still got the gold.
Aye, it's still-
But
it's
the
horrible.
6-hour
2
drive,
matches.
the 6-hour drive wasn't good for my nerve.
No,
Put it that
no,
way.
I your
definitely
ass in
not.
that
It
position.
was horrible, but
Jiu-jitsu is it's a crazy old sport, man, because there's guys that are just sandbagging, there's guys that just don't compete, there's
That's what I
a
said.
whole host of things, man. There's
to you,
coaches out there who have got gyms and never fucking stepped onto the mat a day in their life, and are telling their fighters, like, no, I can't grade you unless you've been on the mat. Like, what the fuck?
so their coach was right in my face. Like, there were a couple of coaches just coaching him, obviously, and he was like trying to keep my posture, didn't we? Like,
Were you just yourself?
Mark Hall and I. And he's like, he's got nothing for you. You're controlling his posture. He's got nothing. And honestly, I just swam my head out the other side and postured and looked at him. He's like, you done well there. You done well there. And I just looked right at him, and I was just looking like, what's this guy? Man?
Was the mats busy?
They were busy, really good. You know what it's like?
Whites and
Blue
blues.
belt and white belt, they're fucking mob.
I know, I think it's, see
There were
if you
brown
get to-
belts warming up in the warm up section. The one they competing or the gi on in
see
that.
if you
I'm just
see,
like,
see
why
when
are
you
you
get to
not
like
competing
brown
against
belt
me?
and black belt, I found that quite a lot of people want to kind of protect their name, their brand.
Aye.
Whereas in blue and white and purple, like, you're just going balls to the wall because you want to beat these guys. Remember, I'd went to like I think I was like blue belt and went into like a purple or whatever it was. I went to like a bracket up, and they went. I'm standing there with the belt lower than other guys, and I'd won obviously the gold. And they're like, you're going to have to take your belt off. And I was like, I'd love to have taken the belt off, but it was Gary Christie. He's like, you're going to have to take your belt off. And I said, no, it's disrespectful, mate. It's like, and the only reason I'd done it was because it was him. No, I'm not doing that, mate. That's disrespectful. Because like, I had an issue with a guy back in the day, like when we first started competing jiu-jitsu, because he was speaking like Portuguese to me. like telling me to stop and all this kind of shit. And then he's like, if you're going to do the sport, you might as well learn the language.
Is that what I said?
No thanks.
Aye. And I was like, I'll fucking wipe you in the mouth. You don't fucking pick your job, mate.
I had a wee back and forth with him in the last one because I had a coach's pass.
Aye.
And I had to like show him it, and he was like pure just sitting in this chair. It was in Edinburgh like, a few months back. And somebody asked him where the toilet was, and he's like, I don't care or something like that. And I was standing there, and he's like, you need to show me this bit. And I showed him it, and the way he spoke to me, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to, man?
Aye.
And he's just looking at me, I was like, I'll smash you, man.
Aye.
Just walked away, I was raging away out of the match like fucking bailing.
Aye.
Just
But
sitting
this,
there
this is real world. You're
aye,
not protected by
just
your
be a
black
bit more
belt.
polite to people. It was a woman that asked him where the toilet was or something, and I was just like, you're just a piece of shit.
That's what happens when you're a professor, mate.
The great Stunt
Aye,
boy
there
has
was
not
no need
got
for
much
it.
good to
There was no
say
need for
about
it.
him. Spoke about him.
But so I asked to go in with the black belts just so I've got a match, and they're like, no, they've signed wafers and stuff like that, and I'm just like,
When was this at the weekend?
Saturday. down
I
in
know a guy who can
Norwich.
get you wafers.
Yeah.
Wafers.
So I took a gold, so I was still happy with that because I hadn't competed in the gi, but it's not my bag, man.
Nah.
Doesn't it
my
get you
bag.
hard?
Nah, it doesn't, man. It
Seeing
doesn't.
blood gets you hard. Is that what it is? You've seen somebody's face just carve open with a few elbows.
I was one of the guys I was going with. I was like, I'd set up a takedown, and I was like, I'm going to blast him right through the mat, man.
Do you remember?
And he just went right, just full guard right away, and I was like,
Do you remember the guy
that's
that
what I
pulled
need
guard?
2 points.
Do you remember the guy that pulled guard and you slammed him into the mat to get DQ'd?
So that was the last time I competed in a gi.
Aye, it was brilliant. Like he pulled guard, and Chris hit him and just went, and it made this
I
noise.
caught him in midair though, but see, because I elevated him again, and it was like a power bomb.
It was brilliant.
DQ, and all you hear is Paul like, no way, no fucking way.
Aye.
But aye, that was the last time. But
I used to love competing jiu-jitsu. Not the last twice because my balls kicked, but I used to love the like because
you like the gi?
there's no pressure. I feel like there's no pressure in that CBA MMA.
just
There's a wee bit of added pressure. Like there's somebody's going to cave you a face in. At least with jiu-jitsu,
I feel like-
the worst you're going to get is gi burn.
Honestly, I feel I could sit on the couch for a year, come off the couch and roll with anybody.
Aye.
Just because I've done it for so long, I wouldn't need to be fit.
You think about all the
It's weird.
bodies you've rolled with, all the different levels, all the different black belts, so everything you like. We're
Done it every day of life
Aye.
basically for about fucking 12 years or something.
I'm going. I was looking at competitions there, and there's not like masters, blue belt.
You know, if
over
you're
it.
saying it on here, then it's 100%.
100% go have to do it. So I'll have to do it. So, but see, trying to find somebody my weight, there's not like you're going to drive to Leeds to roll with one boy
for one match.
Maybe
When you can go and jump into the
I
club.
just phone you and go, all right, do you want to go and train for an hour? Like you're never going to get, and like Chris is saying, like you're only doing it to either move up a belt to
What belt are you?
blue. I'm still a blue belt.
Any tabs?
I think I've got 2.
Oh.
I need to have a look actually. I've probably not had a gi on
There
since
should be
about.
like a rule when you've been out for 6 months, they take a tab off.
Wee man's got to fucking pass you.
He says it all the time. He's like, I've actually been, he's like a grey black or a black grey. I can't mind which one it is for kids. He's like, I'm actually higher up than you.
Aye.
He says it all the time. Loves it, aye. Because when he's 16, he'll go to blue belt now.
Aye.
I think like,
Well, he's still got a few years. By the
aye, a
time
wee
you
bit.
kick his cunt in.
Aye, he's 12 shortly. So that's what I was saying. He was saying it. He was just saying it today.
What
It's
about the
like,
daughter? What's she?
she's a grey, I think, or it's like grey and white for kids.
So we spoke about this before. The girls are so much better.
Miles better. And the
It's-
girls all
they
do
just listen, man. They
gymnastics.
just
And
listen.
aye.
Boys are idiots, man. We've got nothing between the ears. That honestly, man, you want to see
sure.
these wee morons?
And the problem is, once one gets good, he kind of overtakes everybody.
Aye, and then he becomes Billy Big Boys, and he doesn't even have to really
Aye.
try. And he
Fucks
just
about in the warm up,
Aye.
like me.
Just like
But
we've done.
it just doesn't
Do you know
care.
what I miss?
You
Do you know
used to have a shite attention span.
Oh, it was horrible, man.
If we'd done 2 sessions in a row,
Two
the second
sessions.
session.
Remember we used to hit 3 sessions a night? Like back in the
The
day,
worst
we used to
thing
hit
ever.
3 sessions in a night because we didn't have access.
Get
The
to
gym-
like an hour and 15 minutes in the gym and Paul's like trying
An hour's
to
enough,
people off
like.
or shouting,
I'm
singing.
like finger
Throw
asses
people.
It just starts to get out of control.
Paul, you're doing a pulling guard? No, I'm doing a passing guard.
What about Sunday, the Super Bowl, Top Golf? How
Super
was that?
Bowl was fucking brilliant, man.
Was it good?
It was
Chiefs?
really good. But
Chiefs team?
I know he ended up winning. I was wanting the Philadelphia Eagles to win. But it was very close. Philly had it right up until like the third quarter, and then the Chiefs just took over. But the actual
You in the
top,
coffee?
I had a few beverages.
Few beverages.
But I'd been out the Saturday night as well. Obviously, I'm not in any fight camp, so I went out Saturday night, done a weekender, Saturday, and then back out Sunday. Man, I was stinking on Monday.
Getting the salt and vinegar, Chris, into you.
I was, and when the coach messages and he's like, you may be in. And I was like, I was just a wee bit tired
The
for
day?
the Super Bowl. For the Super Bowl. I was like, no, Sunday.
Where were you on Saturday?
I just went to the local pub.
Owens?
Down at Tipsy Cow, it's called.
Oh, in fact, I seen your man put a picture up.
That wee guy, it was his fault.
No.
He was like, you want so I was on the Guinness. And Guinness goes down too easy, but then he was giving me like a whiskey chaser, and it was just see the next morning, man, my arsehole was in tatters. You want to have seen the black pickle of death come out my stink hole, man. It was fucking ridiculous.
You always looked in at the pan after you did
Oh,
shit.
aye, mate, you need to.
Aye.
You always need to, man.
How about you?
No. No, you fucking weirdos.
But you don't want to see it.
I've got a funny
Some days
one.
I'm proud of it. Some days I'm like, Jesus, man, that came out my ass.
Boy messaged
I'm
me.
phoning my boyfriend right now.
Boy messaged me and he said, I watched that podcast. He said, see the guy who actually heatered Paul? Can you tell the story about getting heatered in a nightclub? He said, he fitted my kitchen. He was telling me about it and I went, fuck off.
He's bragging about it, Paul.
He's been telling
Tell
cunts.
Jim I can see his name is my pal. Jim McGower come for you.
So he's like, he said about it in my kitchen. I was like, fuck off. No, you never. He's like, I can't believe that's true. He's like, he wasn't talking shite.
No,
So,
he was 100% telling the truth.
He's actually a really nice guy.
He is.
sounds nice.
Aye. No, he is a nice guy.
Judas
Probably
is-
the only time he's ever hurt something. Sweet to God.
Heater though, eh?
It was
Heater's,
So have you watched The Last of Us yet?
Heater's the dark arts.
I meant to say the two guys, they grew strawberries together as well. So take what you want for that. You know what I mean? Zombie
Is that like a
apocalypse.
sensual night in?
Zombie apocalypse. They're growing strawberries, man.
Growing strawberries.
Nah,
It was a good
Is that like,
No, that's no slang for anything.
Right.
That's a grew strawberries.
like what are you doing tonight? I'm going out to grow some strawberries.
Stories now. That's what they say.
That's as the MMA's out the way, so it's
MMA's
time to
No.
it's time to take this podcast downhill.
So what was I watching today? The old man, Jeff Bridges, on
Jeff
Disney.
Bridges. Aye,
I've watched it
the first
before,
episode.
so I'm watching it again because sometimes I don't pay attention if I'm on my phone and shit like that. You know what I mean? You get distracted with shit.
Do you?
So I started it today again. It's brilliant. You need to watch it.
Aye.
Episode 1.
Episode 1 is the one I've watched.
Tremendous.
Aye, it was good.
I've not watched
Really
it.
good. You never? Oh, watch it. It's
Aye.
on Disney. So
Mandalorian's
that's it. So
Mandalorian's
that's 7
coming out
episodes.
again shortly, is it no?
I'm-
Mandalorian season 3.
I love Star Wars as a kid. Even as an adult, I loved it. But Disney can get too far.
I'm not a fan of Mandalorian either.
They can get too far.
Bill
How
Burr's
dare
in it
you?
though, so
Aye. Hey, he's a good character
that's
in it
probably the
too.
only
I'm going to
plus
say it
about it.
again. They can get too far. It's bullshit.
I watch it with the wee man. It's good.
Nah, man.
Give it a chance.
In all fairness,
Do it for me.
I did watch Obi-Wan with the daughter. And it was cool because she was excited about Star Wars and I bought lightsabers and then I was like, right, I get to watch the original Star Wars and then put them on and they were just, she didn't like them. So it kind of broke my heart.
What's your favourite Star Wars film? I'll see it the 6 because
Phantom
the
Menace.
last 3. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for this thing.
Right, it was the last Star Wars I just done. The one where I've not even seen that. See the last Star Wars film. What was it called? Like fucking Rise of the Jedi or something.
Skywalker.
Was that the last one? I watched my last film.
Last Skywalker.
The last one I watched was the one before that when Princess Leia
I don't count E3 at all.
kicks the fucking. She starts flying through there.
I don't know. I forget about it. I was meant to go and see Avatar 2 the other day and I didn't.
Just because you were fucking on crack.
Just went to the gym.
Did you get any drugs? Did you get any drugs this week?
I had a big night on Saturday, so it was a busy
Were you
night.
working?
I was working.
Did you get some bank, mate? Like,
I did.
good lad. You know what? We've got to hustle.
Just a couple of wee, just to get me through. It's a long shift, mate.
Fucking right. You got
It's
to
a
look
long
after yourself,
shift.
mate.
It's a long
You
shift.
talking? Tootskies?
Couple of tootskies.
Aye.
Couple of tootskies. So
Come on, get your
Any-
life together, bro.
I know. That's how I feel there. I'm like, such a piece of
So
shit.
the project I was working on, Supply and Demand, there's a fucking premiere.
I seen your man.
When
Sunday night at Wester Hales Odeon.
You ever been there before?
No.
Mate, I used to live there.
Western Hills. Is that not a bit of
Aye,
shithole?
right over the
So
road.
where's
Is it a
Odeon?
shithole?
Is Odeon in a shopping centre or that?
Nah.
Is it not?
It's no. I feel bad slagging off because I stayed there, but my flat looked right at the Odeon. You'll see my old digs, eh?
Shithole or no shithole? Just gives eye or no?
You wouldn't want to stay there.
Right, shithole then.
Aye.
And that's why they're doing it.
but
Because
it's a
that's where it's
premiere?
kind of filmed.
I mean, my neighbour shot himself. That was sad.
Was it like a?
Was it because you shot?
No, it was because his wife had been up to no good and he waited on her coming home one day and then just bluttered his cell at the door. Eh?
Why
So
not?
bluttered
Did
her
they have-
and
did
him.
they-
No, just his cell.
Oh,
Never even shot her.
I want you to see this.
Did they have a hole in his flare that somebody was stealing his
The
power
whole
or
his
not?
fucking head. But
That's a bad dude, man.
I mean, the old arm police like bursting in. I'm like, fuck, are you here for? He's dead. So, but aye, Wester Hales Odeon's all right. I used to go to the pictures there. But it's like right at the top. It's easy. It's take you 2 minutes to get to.
Obviously, like, we've only shot part 1. So this is what's getting shown in the part 1.
So,
Can I come
what do
and
you mean
watch?
part 2? Is this like a 1, 2, and 3 like Rocky?
It's got to be a series, aye.
Yeah, got to be there.
A series rather than a movie. Right.
How long is part 1?
I don't know if it's 45 minutes or like an hour or whatever.
Mate, how come? That's very near where I live.
But it's
come?
still quite cool. It's premiered in
Aye.
the cinema. So
Yeah, that's good, mate.
I've got that on Sunday.
It's the modern way of making films now, isn't it? It's like,
I don't know what to wear, man. Like,
It's just the Hales, mate. Just wear your shorts and that.
wear your shorts.
Just wear your shorts. Just wear whatever you want.
I don't know, man. It's one of the ones like if you go to a Premier, you should look a bit smart. You don't want to feel like a piece of shit, but then you don't want to overdress.
The shopping centre shut on a Sunday.
Everybody's in tracksuits, and you rock up like a drug dealer.
The centre's shut on the Sunday, so you'll be all right. I used to go in that centre. Mind when all the stuff came out that like all the meat you were buying in Asda was horse meat and that. So I started going to this butcher, and I'm no joking. You would just see like skagged out cunts lying at the entrance to the centre, just fucked, just lying like you had to walk around them. It's a fucking nuisance. Be it like people pushing buggies
so
around them.
I'll tool up, right? I'll
Aye,
tool up.
the Hales is it's all right.
Is it still bad? I did teach it in the school in Wester Hills
Did you?
because it's like a sports centre underneath. Isn't
Aye,
it?
swimming pool and
Aye,
that.
swimming pool. So I taught in there for about maybe
I didn't
6
go there.
months to a year.
I
It
didn't.
was,
I left because I didn't want my son to go there.
the word I used to love them saying was, we would say jacket, they would say jacket.
Jessica.
Is it J-Skit? I'm like, what the fuck is that, man? I'm like, you're 30 minutes away from me and you're fucking making up your name words.
I'm going to bring up Ross's accent again for
Why?
the third episode in a row.
That's harsh.
No, I'm not.
Mate, I'm excited to go back to the Hales and fucking, I'll come. Can I just come with you? Just be like, I am.
I've got a +1 actually.
Local celebrity.
Aye.
Who you take?
I'm the muscle.
I don't know yet. We'll see.
Get
What
yourself-
time is
get
it? During the
yourself a
day?
supermodel.
5.
Oh, mate, I'm in before work. Perfect. That's lined up perfectly. Thank
1
you.
minute. You've just kind of invited yourself with the guy's premier.
It's in my shorts. Shorts and a vest.
And then a couple of tooskies as well to get you through the movie.
Sit there. I will. With Yaya.
You know some of them. That's
Aye.
it.
Aye.
He's done it all with Yaya and stuff.
Aye, he's a good guy. Good guy.
So
Good criminal.
I don't know how I feel about seeing myself on the big screen because I still don't really think I'm that good.
Why?
Is it one of these ones?
Imposter syndrome.
What do I do with my hands?
That's the best film ever.
There's a scene where we're all at a table at a funeral and I'm kind of like shouting at people and that. And I didn't think it was that good, but I'm not an actor. So they didn't correct me or tell me to do that this way or that way with it. If it was that bad, they should have like, give me more of this or give me less of that. People have seen it, said it's all right. So
Your
we'll see.
man was like a executive producer on
Trainspotting,
wasn't
aye.
he? So he's obviously going to know.
director,
He's
aye.
obviously going to know.
You're always
Aye,
going to be
he
harsh
was
on
all right.
yourself.
But hopefully most of the viewers maybe don't know who I'm at, so they don't really take into context like, I know him, aye, that's shite, that's, so we'll see.
I think you'll be fine.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm confident.
There's a scene in it where I'm in the buff in a caravan park.
You actually
right?
do like a buff,
So-
like in the.
Done a couple of these scenes then.
This is the second time I've been in the buff actually in camera. So we go to this caravan.
Where was it?
It was
Nidri.
no just after Pilton. See next to the water and that. It's an old abandoned warehouse, but there was like 5-6 caravans, right? So this Brazilian guy stayed there, done like capoeira and that. So they like asked him if we could use his caravan, right? So basically, Hawaii 5-0 and that. I don't want to spoil it, but you'll see it. They come to my caravan, right, and answer in the buff, and they're like they're out there nutting coke and that, and they're like look at me and all, and I'm like playing with the dick and all, you know what I mean?
That's a
But so this Brazilian guy who stays there, I'm sitting in his bed and all that, right? Like this is his home, right? But he's just like, can we use your caravan for a couple of hours? So he doesn't know what's going on. But I'm fixing myself to like do this scene, and so I'm in the buff like.
Here's a question: do you have the wee dick pocket?
No for this one.
No, for this one, but you've had the dick pocket.
I've
in
had
the
this
past.
okay, like
Dick pocket.
no, it's called something else.
Dick
Just
pocket.
get a couple of helicopters.
So I might try
bored in it?
to get myself sorted, right? I'm ready to put my I see the guy who's the caravan is, he just walks through. Like, obviously, like, probably doesn't know what the scene's all about and just sees me in a buff, know what I mean?
Sitting on his bed.
Gary said,
Did you get some blood in the pencil?
yeah, of course, man. They slap it.
The last thing,
Like
the
Ace
last-
Ventura.
the last thing you want to do is like let these guys see you're packing some chip
In a freezing cold
now.
fucking caravan,
So-
which would have had the door and everything.
So
open.
Gary's the director, obviously, and I'm like, Gary, your man's running here, not me.
You're my dick.
Trying to get back in his house.
Basically, this is my home, not me. But
You violated this guy's home with your fucking
pretty much,
your nakedness.
pretty much, man.
Brilliant.
But it was a cool wee scene. It was like something out of Snatch with all the caravans and that. It was a good wee location to film. But I don't want to give you too much away, but that was a funny bit.
You going to lean more into acting, do you think?
I don't know. Probably not.
Oh, you didn't seem that when we spoke about it before.
We'll see how this goes down. We'll see how this goes down because there's a couple of good scenes in a minute. And we'll see how it
All
goes.
you need is one scene, don't you? That's all you
Aye.
need. It's just to get noticed.
You wanted to catch you.
I had got offered a film role. I told you this, didn't I? So
You said to us last
What,
week.
you're getting mud flowing, you know?
no, I forgot about that one. That one's hilarious. I'll tell that one about it. So
I get offered fuck all. I just
that's because you're like
Just
a
named
typical Scottish guy, mate.
Aye.
You're like, we don't need bald, bearded
I know.
ginger dudes. So they'd offered
drug
me Den
problems.
of Thieves 2, the management. Did I tell you this in real? So they offered me, and the character I was getting to play was Hugo. So they sent me like a script to read and like to do like a read through or some shit like that. So like, I just film it and send it to us. I filmed it about 6 or 7 times. I went, nah, acting's done. I'm not doing that. It just
What'd you film on your phone?
Aye, because they were like, just set up your phone and showed me everything how to do it. I was like, nah, fuck that shit, I'm not doing it. I was like, I had to pretend I had a walkie-talkie, right? I was like, I know, mate. I was like,
Is it brutal because you can see yourself?
aye,
but-
because then I watched it back and I went, nah, I'll do it again. Nah, do it again. And
You've still got him somewhere. You need to send
honestly, mate, I'm cringing and I think about it. And the last one I looked at, I like, fuck this shit, I'm not doing it. And I just messaged the last time, was like, nah, fuck this, I'm
It's
not
not
doing
for
it.
me.
But the one you're talking about was
Was no Highlander, the
Rob Roy one or something like that. Fucking Bruce, Robert the
Outlander?
Bruce. It was something anyway, right? So he'd say, listen, we're looking for a Scottish guy, and I was like, right, cool, I'll be into that.
I'm for Scotland.
Aye. So they had gave me like a chainmail, it looked cool as fuck, right? All the stuff was amazing.
is it heavy?
This was the part, and it felt really good, right? And then he'd muck you up, so you end up a bit mucky. So it starts to get a wee bit heavy. But they were like giving out weapons, right? Because we just did a battle. And we were to walk up and down this hill, and he gave me like a claymore, this big massive claymore. It was fucking tremendous, right? And I was like, oh, I feel like a man. See, 45 minutes into it, I was fucked. My mum did
Did they
this
put us
hill.
down?
Right, back up, guys, do it again. And I was like, oh, fuck this, man. Half time, I just put the sword down and went, I'm done. I'm out.
See you later.
But every time you walked past, there was like people for wardrobe walking by you, and they'd pick up, like, they had like buckets of muck, and they would just flick it on you. So after about 45 minutes, the sword was heavy, but your kit just get heavier and heavier. It was fucking like everything was so heavy. And then you would walk back down, right, guys, remember where you stood? We need to walk all the way back up. And we done that for, honestly, it was like half a day's worth of shooting when I was like, nah, I'm done. Fuck this. And the midges were biting. There was some guys and horses, and I was like, how's he get a horse?
And I'm
he's
having
like,
to walk.
because he knows how to ride a horse. I'm like, 'cause I told him I knew how to ride a horse. I was like, can't even that hard. Like, I was like, I know how to ride a horse. And I'm like, we'll get you a horse for tomorrow's shoot. I never went back.
Did you just not turn up?
I was like, fuck this, it's horrible. Just walking up and doing the exact same thing again. But then I'd done the stuff with Jack Jester for the Scots. He was shitting himself, by the way. So he's one of these professional wrestlers, really nice guy, and he'd messaged me and said, listen, would you be interested in helping us out? You were looking for, I think my name was like something Piper, Viper Piper, some shit like that anyway, whatever my name was for this, the MMA fight he was having. And he's like, please don't hit me. And I was like, no, I can pull my shot. And he's like, no, I remember you at the ICW. For them, there's not what happened at ICW. They invited me. I've done 2 ICW stints. First time went all right. Was me and you. We had a wee bit of a beef. You come in and were going to had my back and you screwed me over. And then they invited me back to do like a combating help toll. So Toll shouts just off his record-breaking submission, Paul Beardew Craig, and I can walk him down, right? I've got some cool music, walk in, jump into the ring, and the wee referee's obviously trying to manhandle Toll. So the guy puts his hand out and does the shake as if he's like scared. So I smack the guy's hand away and I go to punch him, right? And they're like, just hit him in the fucking collarbone. I zap him square in the jaw. I shatter his jaw in 2 places and he loses 2 teeth, right? The boy hits the deck and he's like, he's proper in pain. There's blood everywhere, right? And I go over to Toll because
This looks really convincing.
well, that's what somebody said to me. That guy sold that punch, didn't he? And I was like, there was no selling. But see when I punched him, I just felt his whole jaw just crumble. And I went over to Toll and I gave Toll a cuddle and I went, I've broke his jaw. He looks over. And then he looks back at me and he's like, just go with it. And then we go out and I'm like, we go out
The show
and I'm
goes
like,
on, man.
I'm really sorry. And the guy's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, what are you sorry for? And he's like, we're getting in the road of your punch. Literally, his jaw was hanging off. And he was spitting out blood and teeth. I felt fucking horrible.
So you should, you bully.
Felt horrible and I never get invited back.
So
You never got asked back.
no, I don't know why.
So that's why Jack Jester, the wrestler, like is like that to him, like, don't hit me.
Please
Doesn't
don't
know
hit
what
me.
to get chin.
So there was like a
You did ground and pound him or something?
aye, but there was a thingy guy in. What would you call the guy who's a choreographer, fight choreographer? And he's like, right guys, can you do this and do that? And I was like, no, I'm not doing that, mate. That's bullshit.
That's not.
Aye,
So-
that's like might work in your fucking fantasy world, but this isn't. I'm no, because that's what I said to him. I was like, I'm not making myself look like a dick. If I'm going to do any of that kind of stuff, I don't mind losing a fight. I don't mind taking a beating, but I'm not going to make my technique look shite.
Aye.
I was like, so they filmed it in 4 different angles.
Professional.
Aye. Last thing I went to be doing is like Ronda Rousey shadow boxing. Remember that fucking video? That's the last thing I went. So that was the last time I'd acted, and we've not done it since. So if there's anybody out there that's looking for some porn action, I'm the guy.
I'm really passionate about
Max and Paddy.
Mate,
You play with
I was
feathers,
talking
get your
about that
ass
the other
tickled,
day. I was talking
Goes into
about
the Willy Wonka
Aye.
one.
I saw the black guys. Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory.
He's got a speed bumps up.
That was fucking cool. I had that on DVD
It's
years ago.
criminal that they didn't do a
No,
second
they
season
didn't
and
actually
all.
push it for more.
I remember one April Fool's, there's a Max and Paddy Twitter page, and one April Fool's, it was like season 2 coming, and I didn't know it was April the first, and they fucking set me down.
It was so good, eh? I loved that. Just 2 doormen, mate. It's made it. They made it off the door. There's still hope for me. My life doesn't have to be shite forever. That's how I fucking
mate.
feel.
You're in your early 30s. You spend your weekend taking bumps. Mate,
Aye.
that sounds like fucking a good life to me.
No. And the maddest part is I'm the fucking gaffer of all these people. Like, it's my job to be like, you do this and you do this, and I'm the
You're like,
fucking-
right, if you get any drugs, just put them my way, right? Because
I'll dispose of them.
I dispose of them properly. Got the
Aye.
proper authorities with them.
Weekend was a fucking disaster at my work as well. This was just shite.
Any
This
good
weekend-
fights?
Aye, one boy got quite fucked up, to be honest. It was a bit of a shame. Got his head bounced off the cobbles and that.
Did he?
It was bad.
Who from yous?
No, for me, no. Just some guy got into an argument. There were guys through this way, actually. Got into an argument with some guys, and fucking one thing led to another. And boys will be boys, eh?
Right.
So, it's shite, but
Some people need to learn the hard way.
this guy, I
Get
did.
leathered.
He got leathered, mate. He was on the wrong end of it, and then told everyone to fuck off when they tried to give him first aid. And I was like, cool, man, see you later.
Just let the guy die.
Aye. All the best. It's quite cold, so catch you. But aye, it was a shame, like. Mate, it's fucking, we were talking about some, like, the first jobs, before we started filming there. It's fucking soul destroying, some of the jobs cunts have got. Like, you're running the factory, mate. It's the same.
Stay works.
Aye. These are fucking rough.
First job I had was McDonald's. It was the best job in the world. 'Cause it
People
was,
have worked for McDonald's.
$12.50 an hour.
it used to be, you could do a power of shagging in the place. See, because like, everyone
the
was the
lasses
same
were
age.
heavy.
Aye, the fat and ugly, aye. I'll be honest, see when the birds started in McDonald's, they were all fucking 10s, right? See by the time they left McDonald's after doing their 2 years, they dropped down a few, aye, man.
Another mental torture.
Just getting abused all day in the drive-through.
It wasn't actually that bad.
plain double cheeseburger.
I honestly wasn't that bad. I used to work in the kitchen and
They're morons, mate.
see,
They're fucking
they're
idiots.
kids, man. What you expecting?
Why
They're
would
kids.
you care?
Aye.
See if you worked at
See, a
McDonald's,
few
would you
times
give a
I've
fuck?
spun right back down the drive-through, like gone mental. Like 6 a.m. Like,
And you getting the fucking.
it's a plain large meal. How is the chips no large and the burger's not plain? How can you fuck it? You had one job.
And I know the McFlurry machine's working, you
I've
fucking
threw the bag
liar.
at them a few times, man.
Like every
"Spit
time
whatever
you go,
want."
you ever we'll go and get ice cream, kids. You take your kids and it's like machine's shut.
Aye.
The fuck, man!
I know it's working, mate. Go and just geese 2 McFlurries. Nah, can't do it.
So we used to stick. So the pickles get like they're soaking wet.
They're
You could-
stinking as
you could
well.
stick them to the roof. They were like
Gherkin things.
you would fucking stick them to your. They would stick them to your roof. What was the best thing? I get caught, but I didn't get caught. So there was a freezer. So it was like you'd go through the fridge, and then there was this big freezer, but it was so
What ones
fucking
you work
cold.
at? Airdrie?
Aye.
Of course.
And it was so fucking cold, right? And they used to have the eggs in the freezer, and I used to just get bored, so I would like take a handful of eggs and just go and smash them in the freezer against the wall, right? But they would freeze like pretty much instantly. You would hit the wall and it would just go. So I thought this was cool. So I fucking leathered like 2 eggs off the wall. You know, when you hear somebody behind you, just get a box of meat. The manager clearly fucking knew, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just getting a box of meat." Right? And I'm trying to walk past them.
Your skill shit.
I know, so like I put the meat where it goes, and he goes like that. Timmy comes out and he's like, "What shift you on tomorrow, Paul?" And I was like, "I'm like a 12, 11 or some shit like
Not
that."
now.
And he's like, "You fancy coming and give me a hand to clean the fridge?" There's egg all over it. I was like, "Bastard!" And I had to go and scrape that egg off with this big fucking manager. The manager was brilliant, and but I had to scrape all the egg off. So I'd get caught, but I didn't get caught.
No, get sacked.
No, you definitely got caught, bro.
No, but he didn't know it was me. He just knew there was egg fucking smeared out of the wall. And
Getting sacked
they used to
is
do
fucking
these.
quality.
They used to do these
It's the
wee like.
best.
They used to do these wee like trio bites. I don't know if you remember. It was like a mini donut. It was like a brownie. I used to just go in and like take a handful of them, and you come out pure para, your chocolate in your face, like fucking crumbs out of my face, like pure para.
You don't get sacked in the end. You just quit.
No, I didn't. I ended
Is
up
it hard to get sacked?
Aye, 100%, mate. I'd done some dubious shit in that place.
Stealing at the till.
No, I didn't steal it to tell, but I used to just
So I'm straight in there.
I'll tell you one of the best stories, right? Makes me sound like, you got to remember, I was only like a kid, so I was like 16, 17. Used to be a guy that worked outside on the like, cleaning end, he would do the cleaning, and he used to have a big tasty. He liked to eat extra sauce. So I used to like load this thing up with far too much sauce, right? And I used to like see who was on his breakaway. Yeah, dancer, right? Loads of sauce, loads of fucking lettuce, right? You'd end up with oil in his face, right? And the people used to go after him not when they were having like you would be in there having your lunch, and he'd be in there with fucking all this sauce oil in his face because he had no depth of perception or some shit like that, covered in fucking sauce, making people bulk.
That's quality.
That's brilliant. So that was my my first job.
I've gone like 6 months now without getting sacked for a job, eh?
What's the worst thing you've been sacked for?
Yeah, I've been sacked for some bad ones, like
Right, just give me one or two.
stealing. I've been caught stealing a good few times. No being there, pretending I was there.
That's probably the worst one. Like, how did you get away with that? Like,
I got away with that for years.
I'm definitely there.
Aye, I was still doing that up to like.
Oh, was that the one we were doing the camp, and you were like, "Aye, they've just turned up."
Just that mannequin with a heart attack. The high vis behind.
It's like somebody fucking home alone.
I've done a few of them, like I've been caught fucking got caught stealing whiskey at the distillery and stuff like that. Fucking got caught no being there, like locking it up and just fucking off, coming back in the morning. Mate, loads of
If
stuff.
you don't get a good job through this podcast, I don't know.
I've made choice. I'm gonna have to make it. I just every job
This know what you want to be doing. You know what you don't want to do. You know what you don't want to do.
I mean, if all fails, there's always OnlyFans, bro.
I know.
And there is some fighters that use OnlyFans.
Aye, but it's like shitey videos of him training in. It's not like they're stinkles.
Isn't it?
There's a lassie,
Unless it's the females.
What is it with like?
a lassie at my
What
work.
is it
Her
with,
man
like-
does it. Might have some fucking
What is
chopper
it
on
with
her.
these whores just changing everything up? Like the gym, like hikes. Well, I go hikes now.
Gym's
And now
fucked.
you get birds at the top with no clothes on. And I'm just like, can you not just walk to the top of the mountain and fucking
But nobody
walk back
wants to
down?
nobody wants
So
to
it
see
gets
that.
it gets worse. What I
Right.
seen yesterday.
How ballsy are you? Go and show me your Instagram search. Go and show me your Instagram roll.
It gets
Your
worse,
reel.
right? It gets worse.
I bet it's full of ass.
I seen a mechanic yesterday on a page. She's a mechanic and all.
Oh, it's a girl.
And she's just all about like bending under the bonnet and like, I said, just do your fucking job.
Can you,
just fix the fucking motor.
Could you send me that?
I will send you. She's got a big following, and
Of course.
it's
How
like,
is a mechanic?
it's like.
Because nobody's
Remember
paying
you
her
used
to
to go
fix
to the
their
gym.
motor.
Remember you used to go to the gym and you wear oil clothes and sweat and get a workout. Now it's like a fashion show now, and now the birds are wearing fucking nothing, and you're like, oh, don't look at me when I'm doing my fucking sumo squats. You know what I mean? You're like
Sumo squats
Like, you can
is
see what you're having
stupidest
for
fucking
breakfast, bitch.
exercise as
You know
well.
what I mean?
I mean, there's some beautiful women
But
there.
they're changing it up. No, it's mechanics, man. Painter, there's a painter woman. It's like, just paint the fucking wall. Like, who cares what you're wearing?
It's when
Your
they-
big asses out. No,
It's
no,
when
me.
they start doing the Romanian deadlifts and that.
Like, see, as a kid,
lean over.
up to what age did you think, like, people, like, there was a point in my life where I just thought everybody was shagging. Like, I watched that much porn that, right, I'm in a hotel and I'm doing any sort of thing and a woman's going to offer me sex. This is happening. Like, that
But
was it.
like a cleaner.
I like not
clean?
anything.
Clean?
Mate, I'm talking about anything. Like, I could be like, I obviously tried to get fired out of my high school teacher. We'll not talk about that. I've tried to
You
find
watched the show Teachers, though, didn't you?
I love teachers, mate. It was fucking brilliant.
You would love that shit.
Well, Rick Grimes.
Mate, we had a female teacher at my school who definitely, like, 100% used to, like, try and make her tits fall out in front of you.
Good.
100%. What's her name again? Big Heavy thing. Fucking.
But I used to.
They were
I
a
used
set
to-
of heavies, but
I used to think this was just a regular concept. People were down to fuck. Like, old women.
90% of the world usually are.
old women have got as
Not
well.
a
high-
15-year-old
is that a
boy.
high-
It's just
is that a
like
high
13,
percentage?
14-year-old boy. It's just fucking like, right, we fucking.
Just give some meat.
Like,
fuck that.
like I would go to like I'm trying to think of like scenarios like petrol station thing. This could be the time.
This could be
Oh,
it.
son, would you like to come and help me with this?
Oh, right.
And just stretch me in the back.
Every life.
Everything was like a porn
Right,
situation.
okay,
like,
right.
oh, son, I can't get this lid off this. Do you want to come and give us a horn?
Right, you were watching too much porn, man.
My mate's a windy
I liked
cleaner.
a good storyline in
Never
porn.
once.
Ross, what do you like?
Ah, mate, I didn't watch porn anymore. I don't know why you didn't think this is true.
So do you?
Blasphemy.
Oh,
Do
I didn't
you
watch
just
it.
jerk the meat?
I just
What do
tried.
you type in the search engine?
I didn't
Do
watch
you
it,
just
mate.
jug the meat dry?
I just, from memory, yeah.
Do you?
What, you got the whole fucking wank banks?
Just obviously think
Aye,
of my,
obviously it's
think
the-
of my partner.
obviously it's the missus. I was going to say
Batter.
that.
I'm trying. If I was to,
Do you know what? We should do a Patreon episode where you have to pay money to hear your story of what's in your porn search engine and who you're actually wanking over.
There was one porn star I liked before I turned away from porn.
Do you before I left the dark
Big-
side?
big
Do you
Gianna
know,
Michaels.
Have you
You know
got
who
a
that
few
is?
I know
names, Chris?
Gianna Michaels.
You-
You got a
You're
few
aware
names
of-
where you're like, this is my go-to.
You aware of Gianna's work?
Of course.
You aware of Gianna's work? Oh, mate, it's good
Aye,
changes.
aye. Her with the big cans.
Aye.
Aye.
Looks old.
Aye.
Looks
We
used
used
up.
to,
I like the ones that look used up.
Back in
Bobby Lee, the one I was scared. That's the one I wanted.
ones that had a bad childhood. I like the
Actually,
ones.
personally, I know a few actual real ones.
back in the day, a few years ago, we had that porn star worked in the gym. Remember?
Yes, I do. I PT'd her.
Were you aware at the time though?
I don't know how
No,
I found
no,
it.
no.
You told me.
It was you told me, and see when you did, I was
you
like,
just made me look like a fucking creep here.
Aye.
I mind you, like, I'm oblivious to everything, mate. I'm
That
fucking.
wasn't
I
the
just-
ones I was talking about though, but I forgot about her.
What
Did
were
you
we
have another
talking
porn
about?
star?
I know a couple, aye.
What, you
Big
PT'd?
Glasgow?
Big Hairy.
No.
Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
Aye, we're talking about Big Hairy.
Is that what we're going with? What? That would be a fair. You knew exactly who I meant.
Aye, that was the one I was PT'ing.
Aye.
Aye.
She seemed nice, mate, till I saw her getting 2 dicks in the ass. Then I was like, oh, what a shame for her laddie. Do you know what I mean?
Did you know? Oh, fuck off. Do you remember the story? You told me the story, man.
It's what, that's us. We've got there now. We're out the way of the MMA. Now we're on to the...
Do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say.
Say it.
I had to sign the picture.
Oh, you had to sign the picture of the wee boy.
For her laddie.
Aye, picture of him.
Can you sign this picture?
She brought a picture in here of a boy playing football. It was framed with glass and everything. Took out the glass and I was like, oh, that's a good photo. I don't want to sign that.
I've got one here of you. Can you say, go and sign it along the boy's cock for me. That would just, so I can kid on it's me.
Go and sign your ID, your photo ID. I want to see that ID. What age are you?
I'm done.
So I...
Those were the days.
Right, so you had to sign that picture for him?
So she took a photo.
Bring
and I
her
was
on
like,
the
"Nah,
podcast,
that's,
fuck it."
That's a nice photo of the boy, man. I don't want to sign that. No, he would like it.
I'd love to see you sign
Boom.
a picture
Signed
of
up.
him playing football. That's weird.
know.
It's weird.
I think he played for Airdrie or something.
Have you been also asked to sign anything weird?
That's the weirdest thing probably, but just the actual situation.
was weird. You saying anything weird?
Nah, mate, they can't give a fuck who I am. They think he's a fuck. People just shout stuff at me at their motor. Hey, fucking dickhead. I get some nasty comments on TikTok.
Do you? Don't listen to me. You're a good soul. Let's get back to
I'm
this
not a
monster.
bully. I'm not a drug
I need to
addicted bully.
apologise for chewing gum in the first episode. That sounded horrible, by the way.
I never noticed
And
it
it
at
will
the
not
time.
happen again.
It is. Fuck
We're
them.
over it.
That annoyed me.
I want to hear more about this porn star. And I think the fans want to hear more about one. Well, what are the
Who's the
porn
other
stars,
one?
I know a few.
How do you know them? What do you?
Because just so many women out there are just selling themselves or just trash.
This is a
Eh?
long time ago, remember?
Aye,
Know what I mean?
obviously.
Obviously, many years
Wait,
ago.
do you know any porn stars?
I didn't. Well, the big hairy and that's
Big
it.
hairy.
Aye.
He keeps calling her big hairy.
What is that?
Oh, it's
I didn't
fucking brilliant.
Can we use her actually?
Should we
She's
draw
not
it?
big. That's unfair to say. She's got big swingers.
Stop spinning back.
She's got a set of sweaties on her, but fucking big is unfair, I think.
Go fuck yourself, man. I can't take it.
Who's the other one? Name the other one. Is it that Lana Wolf one?
No, I know Ashley. She's
that?
from Glasgow. Ashley Ryder.
Fuck, that's not a real name, right? Fucking
Can it
had
be?
it. I'm done. I'm what?
I know a few, man, but
Full on stretched out on camera. They ones. Or just OnlyFans ones. I need to know, mate. Fucking tell me, mate.
proper porn stars.
thank you, that's all right.
Proper take a load on the face.
Aye, proper ones, obviously.
Do you make much money?
Oh, of course they do, man.
Jinx it.
Aye. Well, do you not think they don't?
I don't know, because there seems to be loads of lassies up for
Georgia Leo, she's probably the most famous one. She went with Virgil van Dijk. Remember? Remember her, no?
Porn star, imagine
Well,
going
she
to
at the
a porn
gym
star.
too, like, all these cunts have just been training away at the gym and I'm just fucking over in the corner grappling with guys. What's going on?
Oh, you did say to me you were nearly to grapple with women.
did
Or
gra-
you found it, you didn't like it, you didn't enjoy it.
Nah, I did grapple with women.
You don't like your victims putting up a fight.
I don't. Mainly, I didn't like women. Secondly,
Right, anyway. Should we go into politics?
Oh, mate, I'm done.
Nicola Sturgeon is off.
Big Nico,
Aye.
great wee guy.
Okay, we can.
Few Lego here.
Hairy or non-hairy, would you say?
That's definitely hairy, man.
Think so?
Oh,
Armpits and everything.
She's bald.
Nah,
she is bald, man.
She's like that, but in the back of the dumpster.
I'd have to check out the armpit before I made a decision on it.
No, I think she'd be definitely bald, man.
She
Proper
likes a
bald.
rugby, man.
Just
Older
proper.
though. What age is she?
Aye, but it doesn't matter what age you're.
Back in the days, they were all hairy. Mind when you find like your old man's VHSs? You mind that? Find old man's VHSs and you're like, oh my God, is that what they look like?
Aye.
Like, I'm not wanting
That's
anywhere
fucking-
near that.
That's scary. I was a teenager, right? Must have been
do.
about 11 or 12,
Oh,
right?
you're gonna say that.
I was 11 or 12, and I was in my dad's wardrobe and found one of his magazines, right? So I stole it. Right, so I stole it. I never put it back. I had stole it and then had maybe put it back a few times, but then I went, I'm just keeping this. This is...
He's not looking at this.
No. But there was a nod. You've been in my cupboard.
And they couldn't say anything, man.
No, I just looked him dead in the face and went, nah, no me. He's like, you sure you know me taking it out of my cupboard? No me. Maybe it's my ma.
He knows the score.
You want to ask her? So because I big dogged him, because I know you're not allowed to Paul. You're not allowed to dirty mags. I got to keep it. So that was my story.
I
Stealing
mind
my
going and
dad's job.
shoplifting them at the garage when I was a wee guy. Yeah.
You're a fucking gadgety bastard, man.
Let's run in, grab them and run out.
Aye, snatch and run.
Aye. Every days, eh? Mind
Snatch
you
and
go-
run for the snatch.
I mind I was probably like 12 or 13. I started going to Hearts games like with my pals. So my dad I would be like, can I go to Hearts games with my friends instead of fucking having to go with you? No, you're fucking drunk pals, Dad. And he'd be like, aye, fuck it, do what you want. And so he would just go to like an away game at St Johnstone, just fucking run in, grab, run out. Everybody used to do it. The wee shop beside, there's one on the,
Just robbing the place.
just near Easter Road. All used to do it as well, just fucking run in, grab, run out. Like, I think that's just the...
Anybody ever grabbed you in the street in that sort of situation where as a wee boy you'd hurl abuse at folk and then you would forget about it and then
I
they would
got
grab you in
chinned
the
a
street?
fucker.
Aye, then you
off a
start
boy.
greeting.
Aye.
I was stealing out the RS McCall at Mabbit, and a guy went. I was a proper wee boy, like wee boy, and a guy went, put that stuff back. I was like, mate, fuck you, and he's like, buff. And I mean, go back, like, Dad, this guy chinned me. I was like, what? He's fucking what for? A grown man's no punching you for no reason. I was like, he did. He's like, did he? Fuck, what were you doing? So he's like, took me up there. Fuck it. He was just a Jakey who drunk in a pub in Queensferry, the Queen's Retreat. Waited till we seen him, asked him. He fucking told my dad what he was doing, why he done it, and then my dad clattered me again.
I thought your dad was going to save the day there and zap him.
No, my dad done a couple of boys in for me, like when I was younger. Done a couple of older guys in for me. Mate, somebody phoned me a couple of weeks ago, in fact, when Hearts were playing Hibs, and we're like, mate, there's a guy in a pub down here, and he's saying if we keep fucking looking at him, he's going to get you down to kick fuckers. I was like, what's the guy look like? Mate, it was my dad. It was my actual dad, pished in the boozer, threatening people. Like, my dad's 60-year-old. My lad, he'll come down here and smash you.
You better have fucking went and gave him
Wearing
honors.
Hibs tops, mate.
Would you have given him honors? That's
I've
what I
done
know.
before.
Good, that's all that matters.
I've had to do it before. I mind I've done ones in Queensferry before where he's just like decided to come along and fucking riot cunts with us. He's chinned a few boys, like. He's up for fighting the young team, my dad.
Good on
He's
him,
done
man.
a couple of good ones, to be fair. He got a boy with a good header once, actually. Teeth right through.
Can we get him in the podcast?
Nah, he talks pish.
Ah, yeah, I want to hear these stories.
He's meant to help me take my fucking kitchen away and he's not turned up again, so I'm not talking to him. Felt like my old man. Fact, we just go here.
I know, when the good
We
stories
just
were
go
coming
here.
out.
I know.
The good stories. R.I.P. Harry Clare.
Is that who it is? Goes by two names, eh?
What's the other name?
I don't know. That's that one. What's the other one?
A real name?
I don't know the real name. Do you?
No.
Oh, that's
Doesn't
a
matter.
shame. No.
Doesn't matter any.
Doesn't
Put it in
matter.
your search and see what comes up.
Bring it on, mate.
When was the last time you spoke to her?
For the old gym, man, where I used to beat you.
What do you think our snatch is actually like? What's the state do you think that hangs in?
Probably like an old fucking bag of root vegetables.
A root vegetable.
Fucking
What an
sailing down the Clyde for like 10 years, then get pot aside, smashed under a Fiat Punto, and then just delivered to you. Looks like that.
I thought you were just going to go with old drop lasagna. Well, that's the standard, eh? Drop lasagna.
Like a Subway, a ham Subway.
Buttered fucker. Leather fucker.
It's been leathered.
On that note, we are done, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this MMA podcast that quickly descends
It
to.
goes to 0 to 100 very quickly.
We were
Have you
talking
done it,
quite
man?
nicely about MMA.
I know.
thought that was going.
Like,
I was like,
I'm proud of us. We kept it at least halfway.
quite a civilised
Aye,
conversation
That's
today.
5 minutes is a massacre.
I was done, but guys, that is another episode of the little podcast.
Episode 3 in a bag.
Yep. Stay beautiful, boys.
When
Subscribe.
we're back. When we're back.
Back next week.
Back next week.
Oh, you also said, Chris, you were going to do a wee competition.
I win the followers hit 1,000, so they've still got 400 to go or something.
What we're going to give away?
A shot of Harry Clare.
Want to suck you off?
You've ruined that.
No, sorry, mate.
But I subscribe to all the pages and the
She's a human
socials.
being.
I know. So we'll get a meet and greet with fucking the hairy one.
Oh, aye.
So
Subscribe. And then I hope you enjoy the podcast. Hit us up with some feedback, man.
Aye. So stay beautiful.
Stay leathered.
Stay high.
Let's keep it high. Go fuck yourself. Keep it hairy.